All right. So welcome, guys. This is our third out of the 4 meetings for this presidential ambassador kind of professional development. So today we're going to be talking about elevator pitches. And I know Garrett knows what they are because we just did that in class, but I'm sure you guys have probably heard and know what an elevator pitch is. It is just what it sounds like. Imagine that you're getting into an elevator with the CEO or the president or owner of a particular company that you would really like to work for. And you have the ride of that elevator to basically pitch yourself. It's like your little mini sales presentation of yourself. You want to be persuasive and informative enough that this person wants to continue to learn more about you or wants to continue the conversation. So you really have, like, think about the ride of an elevator, maybe 30, maybe 60 seconds at most. So that's not a whole lot of time. And you really have to be able to be interesting and persuasive enough that this person's like, oh my gosh, I need to speak more about you. So you have to be really careful that you're not getting like long-winded and that you're not sharing irrelevant detail like you would in the kind of like tell me about yourself, interview question where you're giving them, some background about you. Well, that is important. The important part is that you are hitting like the key points of your skills, the value that you're going to bring, and why this person should want to, hear more about you. So the way that you can do your pitch is kind of like one of 2 ways. And I'm going to break these down for you, but you can do them a little bit more generic. If you're just kind of just starting out, maybe, you're not exactly sure where you want to work. You don't have a dream job kind of yet in your mind or a dream company just yet. You just kind of know, hey, I know I want to work in finance, but I just don't quite know what, or I want to work in HR, or I want to, be a history teacher, or I want, like you might be just don't exactly know 100%, but you know the field. You could definitely go with a more generic kind of pitch, and we'll kind of break down what that looks like. Or if you do know you're getting closer to the end of your, your college journey, your career here, and you are, hold on, let me let Mia in and let me grab her on attendance real fast. So if you do know, like specifically, say, I know I want to work at Raymond James, and I know that they have this audit intern position available, because you've done your research, so you could go a little bit more specific. And so I'm going to let you guys, as we kind of do this activity this afternoon, I'm going to let you guys do it, whichever one that feels like it is going to benefit you the most. So I don't want you to practice something that you're like, yeah, I'm never going to use that. So again, so think about where you kind of are. And I'm going to pull up just a real quick, little quick mini presentation that I can kind of go a little bit more with this over you. Just give me 1 second. Okay, this was in our presentation that we were talking about when we did networking. Okay, and I said we'd get back to this. All right. All right, do you guys see the professional brand on the screen? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you are unsure, and like I said, you don't have a specific company yet or a specific position that that you want to apply for, we can do this. We can tailor your elevator pitch to be more like your personal brand. So you can think about the unique value that you bring to the organization. This is going to be very short, concise, and very easy to memorize. Let me get Lexi on for attendance. I got Mia already. Okay. Okay, so this is something that you'll be able to use in, so like networking events, career fairs, kind of stuff like that. It is an elevator pitch in a sense, but it's not like, like a traditional, more in-depth elevator pitch. So I offer this particular activity for those of you, again, like I said, that are maybe not 100% sure where you want to go or what company you want to work for or what direction you're going to go in. But at least you'll have this idea. So we're all going to do this particular activity, and then I'm going to let you guys break out for about 10 or 15 minutes and start working on your own pitch. But for now, I would like for you guys to take a minute, and I want you to list your unique attributes. So if you have a piece of paper, or if you have a notepad on your phone, or if you want to pull up, a document on your laptop, but you want to list your unique attributes and use those attributes to create your one sentence statement. You want to be sure that your statement will resonate with your target audience. And then you will, of course, update that as your audience changes. So let's take about 3 minutes here. And I want you guys to start thinking about your unique attributes. What stands out about you? What words would you want people to say about you? Like if someone was like, hey, when I think of Lexi, this comes to mind. Or when I think of Garrett, this comes to mind. Like, what would you want those words to be? Okay, I'm going to give you guys about 3 minutes to do that. Okay, about 30 seconds. All right. Okay, so the next what you're going to do is you're going to create a strong personal brand statement. Now, here's what that could look like. Let me change what I'm sharing here real fast. All right, so we're gonna look down here at this bottom part here. This is what we're gonna look at for the generic pitch, but then we're gonna go back up to the more specific in just a minute. All right, so you're gonna create your strong statement. So with the words and attributes that you wrote down, I want you to kind of take a minute and put this into like a 2 or 3 statement activity. So your full name, the school and year and major that you're in, and then your passion statement. This is where you're going to talk about your attributes here. And you're going to tie into the company if you can. Again, this is for if you're not really 100% sure where you want to work or something like that. So if there's a company, great. If not, then don't worry about it. And then some kind of call to action or next steps, because you always want to walk away with the next step lined up. So when we go back to, let me show you a couple examples here. All right, so some examples for these strong statements could be, I'm a junior in college who's passionate about improving the financial lives of others around me. I'm a creative soul with a mission to impact the world of apparel post-college. I'm a driven athlete. I'm passionate about pushing myself to achieve excellence in athletics, school, and life. Or anyone care? No, that's not the example. So those are some things that you can, so think about what it is that you are striving to do. Think about why it is that you're doing this, like what is driving you. And that's going to be where your attributes, your skills are going to come in. So let's take about another 3 minutes, and I want you to draft your personal brand statement based off of your your major, where you are, where you're going to school, and what your passion is, and then we're going to go back to the pitch. Okay, so about another 3 minutes. So really right now, you're just kind of drafting that passion statement, that why you do what you do tied into your skills. About 30 more seconds. All right. Okay, so now you have your strong passion statement, and you've got your background and everything. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to pull this back up here. And now these, I'm going to give you the option. Now I encourage you 100% to practice what you think is going to be the most beneficial for you. So I'm never going to tell you to do something one way, this is the right way, because again, in this particular kind of professional dynamics, there's really no right or wrong way, but this is really the best way to kind of set yourself up for success. So I'm going to give you two options, and I'm going to leave this up here for you. A more generic kind of elevator pitch would be your full name, you know, the school, your year, your major, your passion statement, possibly tie it into the company if you can, and then your call to action or like your next steps. So it might sound something like this, like, hi, my name is Watson-Morrow. I am a sophomore at Florida Southern College studying finance. I really, truly have a deep passion for helping people understand finances and build a financially stable and free lifestyle. I know that your company is ranked in the top 20 in the nation with the best customer service, who really seems to care a lot about their people. And I'd really love an opportunity to learn a little bit more about the possibility of working with your company. Hey, when is a good time to call you? Or hey, how do you get how can I get onto your schedule so that I can, you know, talk to you a little bit further? So that's a little bit more on the generic side. And maybe I don't even know a company. Maybe I'm just like, hey, my name is Watson-Morrow. I am a sophomore at Florida Southern College studying finance, and I'm super passionate about helping people understand their finances to build financially stable and free lifestyle. I'd really love an opportunity to learn more about your company. What's the best way to get on your calendar so that we can set up a time to talk? So I'm not even talking about that company specifically, because maybe I just don't know, right? You know, you're a sophomore, junior, you're just not 100% sure. Now, you do definitely want to call to action. You don't, I will tell you this, do not, and this is just a sales thing. Do not under any circumstance be like, hey, here's my card, or hey, you know, would you be interested in learning more? You don't want to give them the opportunity to say no. You also don't want to be like super pushy and be like, yeah, I'm coming to see you tomorrow. You better be available. You know, so it has to be like, you know, you're confident. I always say act as if, you know that you're a good fit for this position, you know that they want to talk to you more. So you're just going to walk away with that like next step in place. Now, you could be the most persuasive, you could be the most charismatic person, but you have to remember, these people are busy. And as much as they're like, oh yeah, I'd really love to have this person on my team, they're gonna forget about you. They're on the elevator going somewhere, you know, so you have to be the one to go after it. They're not gonna come after you. So that's why you don't want to say something like, here's my card. You know, you could say, do you have a card? Whatever feels the most comfortable for you, or you feel like the least non-threatening. Something else that you could literally say, which again, if you feel comfortable, sometimes you can say, you know, you say your stuff and say, hey, so I'd really love the opportunity to talk a little bit more with you. I'm going to be in town all week. Our mornings or afternoons better for me to stop by, you know, and then you're not giving them a yes or no. You're giving them like a, you know, and they could very well be like, hey, I'm busy, kid, you know, just give me your card, you know, or something like that, or call my secretary, you know, that could be a slew of ways that would go down. So you have to feel comfortable with that, and you have to be okay with that. So I personally would say something like, hey, what's the best way to get on your calendar so that we could talk more? And right then he or she's going to be like, well, here's my card, or call my secretary, or yeah, just, you know, find me on LinkedIn and we'll connect, whatever they say. That's not the important part of this activity, but it's you feeling comfortable setting up that next step. So you're going to do that with either one. So let's say you're a little further along in your journey, and you know that you want to work for a specific company, you have it in mind. And so if you know that for a fact, then you will know that there is a position available. You will know from your research the job description of the position that's available. So you'll know the skills and stuff that are available. So let's look at the top here. If you're going to do the more specific one, you're still going to identify yourself, of course, your full name. State your major and maybe any relevant coursework, club, or organization involvement, previous work experience. Again, that aligns specifically to the job, the company, the industry that you're applying for. Identify the company and the position. Highlight 1 to 2, or make a personal connection to the company. It goes along with like what we talked about with resume cover letters. With your cover letter, you definitely want to be like, why this company? Why is this the one that you want to make them feel that you love their mission and vision, their company as much as they do, right? So you want to make that personal connection, highlight 1 to 2 skills relevant to the job with a very short explanation. Remember, 45, 60 seconds. So this has got to be quick without you being like Speedy Gonzalez with your your words and everything. Tie your past experience into how you'll benefit, and then that call to action. So does everybody understand the difference between the 2 pitches? Does anybody have any questions? Everybody's good? Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you guys 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and come off screen. You're welcome to turn your cameras off too if you want while we're working. I'm going to also pause the recording because anybody that's watching this doesn't necessarily need to see us brainstorming. But I want you to take the time and choose either the top one or the bottom one. Again, whatever's going to be the most beneficial for you. Don't just do the easier one. If you really are at this stage in your journey, go for the one that's a little bit more in depth so that you have an opportunity to practice. So you're going to have 15 minutes. You're going to write it out. And then I want you to practice it a couple of times because I'm going to let you guys practice it. Any brave souls that are willing to come off, mute and do their pitch for us would, be really great. Shows great leadership. So if you have any questions, I'll still be here, but I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off so you guys don't see my big old face on while you guys are working. But I'm going to start the timer, 15 minutes. If you have any questions, please just come off mute and ask me. But right now, before we start, does anybody have any questions? Okay, perfect. You guys got 15 minutes. I'm going to leave that up there. Okay, so whether you're doing the generic one or the more specific one, do I have any brave volunteers that would like to share? All right, Tommy, yay.
Okay. So here we go. I went with the longer one, the more specific one, I guess.
Okay.
All right, ready? So, hi, my name is Tommy Anderson. I'm a senior theater performance major at Florida Southern College, and I'm very interested in the role of movie trailer editor at your company. Personally, I've been watching and analyzing and really watching 100 times over movie trailers my entire life, and I believe my skills as an entertainer and in the theater and film department, as well as in a campus event planner, I believe I know will incentivize people to go to the movies and get back into the theaters. With that experience, I really think I can flourish in the position and truly encourage people, again, to get back into the movie theaters rather than staying at home and watching direct-to-video. I'm free to talk or chat on these days this week if you have the time. Thanks.
Okay. Very nice. My only, I would say just be a little bit more intentional with your closing, because again, you're giving them the opportunity when you say, I'm free this time to talk, you're kind of giving them that opportunity to be like, I'm busy, So it could be something a little bit more where you say, how can I get on your calendar? Because you want the next step in line, but they're not going to schedule an appointment with you in the elevator. It's going to be like, how can I get your card, or, how do I get in your calendar, or what's your email address or something like that. But that was really excellent. So thank you so much for being a brave soul and sharing. That's awesome. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else? Okay, Jackson, thank you. McKenna? Okay.
Yeah, I can go. So I did the more generic one, but I did include a specific company that I would love to work at one day.
Okay.
Just so I could like tie it back a little bit. So, hi, my name is McKenna Thomas, and I'm currently a sophomore student at Florida Southern College with a major in biology and supplemental English and chemistry minors. I'm very passionate about one day working in the healthcare field and helping patients and their families feel a lot less alone while they go through their treatments. This is why I'm so interested in working at a company like Moffitt, because not only do you have amazing success rates with survival rates being 4 times that of the nation's average, but your patients also talk about the amazing atmosphere and sense of community that they felt while being treated at this facility. I would love to talk with you more about this. Is there any way I could get on your calendar so we could discuss this further?
Excellent. Ah, that actually gave me goosebumps because that's so near and dear to my heart as well. That's awesome. Yeah, oh, that was great. You guys are doing a great job.
Thanks.
All right, anybody else? Okay, Liam?
So I did the more personal one. So, hi, I'm Liam Park. I'm a musical theater major and history double major at Florida Southern College, and I also serve on the executive board of our on-campus a cappella group. I'm interested in Act 3's position as assistant musical director, and per your associate and my friend Mariana Shuck's recommendation, I've decided to apply. I've served as musical director for the City of Cummings Veterans Day ceremony for the past 3 years. I've curated era-specific music and led ensemble and solo rehearsals in preparation for performances. I believe my past experience working with the city, combined with my musical theater major, could allow me to be a professional and effective musical director for you and really flourish in the position. I know we don't have much time right now, but I'm in town all week. Could I get your contact so we could set up a time to interview?
That was great. Nice job. Oh, man, 3 for 3. This is going great. Good job, Liam. All right,
Thank
anybody else? I can only see some of you. Okay, Jordan, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jordan King, and I'm a junior exercise science major on a pre-physician's assistant track at Florida Southern College. I'm interested in becoming a valuable addition to the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital Department of Orthopedic and Surgery and Sports Medicine. Ever since witnessing how caring and hospitable the physician who treated my brother was when he broke his collarbone years ago, I've held this department as a standard and inspiration behind my journey in becoming a health professional. With balancing being both a student and athlete at the college level, I've developed a level of persistence and push to achieve a persistence that's pushed me to achieve both my academic and athletic goals. I would love an opportunity to continue this conversation. What would be the best way to get on your calendar?
Okay, that was a great way to, talk about your brother being there. You made a nice, deep personal connection. Again, just try not to read it. So if you want to be able to practice it a little bit more so that you feel a little bit more comfortable. You're talking about yourself. So, I know that we just did this, you had limited time, but that was really great. A nice, good, intentional closing as well. All right, excellent job. All right, anybody else? Okay, I don't see any hands. All right. Okay, so thank you for those that shared. I know that that can be a little nerve-wracking, but you guys did a really great job. Continue to practice this. You are going to use this. If you might not use the formal elevator pitch, the longer one all the time, but you will be using that passion statement, that that personal brand statement. You'll be using that a lot. Liam, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I interviewed last week for a position at my local UPS store, and they asked exactly, they're like, tell me about yourself in a couple sentences. So this is exactly what we need.
Yay, that's perfect. Oh, that makes me happy.
I got the job, by the way.
Oh, congratulations. Nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah, so again, this is stuff that you are going to be using, whether it is the tell me about yourself question, or when you go up to somebody in networking, or you are on an elevator, whether it's figurative or literal. But this is up because you guys know who you are, but until you think about it and kind of put it into words, where it comes out concise and not just oh yeah, well, I'm passionate about a lot of things. Because if you ask me just out of the blue, hey, what are you passionate about? I mean, I can start talking about my kids. I'll be talking about, I love to travel. I love to, explore new things. That has nothing to do with my professional career, right? So we got to keep that in mind all the time and always know your audience. And you're always going to be adjusting this depending on your audience. If you go to a career fair, you're going to know what companies are there ahead of time. And you're going to research them, and you're going to have more of that deeper pitch, right? Like that, the one on the top, versus if you're going to a networking event, you don't necessarily know who's all going to be there. You're going to be more practicing the more generic, just the more personal brand statement. So those are really good ones for you guys to be practicing. Do it in the mirror, do it with your friends, video yourself and do it. You also have Quincia. Everybody has that on your single sign-on. If you haven't used that before, you can definitely use that. Once you load your resume up there, you can schedule mock interviews, and then they will also give you feedback on how you present and how you answer certain questions, but they'll ask you those same kind of questions like tell me about yourself and so on. So this week is just a little bit shorter, which I'm sure you guys are like, oh, darn. But this is all I have for you guys for today. We're going to meet again in 2 more weeks, and that's going to be our last one. And we're going to really talk about kind of interviews, do's and don'ts. So what I'd really like for you guys to do between now and then is kind of come with me, come to the meeting with any questions, or maybe like you had an interview and you're like, I didn't exactly know how to answer this question, or, they asked me this and it was a little odd, or, or some success stories, what did they ask and how did you answer it, and what did you feel good about it, so that we can kind of share. But that's going to be our last time together. So does anybody have any questions or any last closing comments for today's meeting? Okay. All right. Well, thank you again for sharing your time with me, guys, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
You're very
Thank
welcome.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome.